Hello there, YouTube crew. I'm the real deal, and today we're going to be talking about Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's latest venture, Air. It's about the risky gambit Nike's basketball division took to sign the upcoming rookie, Michael Jordan. It's directed by Affleck, led by Damon, and is supported by Jason Bateman, Chris Tucker, Viola Davis, and there's not a weak link throughout. My favorite scene has to be Marlon Wayne's single appearance, though. That scene not only works to push the protagonist onto his journey, but it also sets up a major moment in Act 3. It, it not only works because, number one, the anecdote that he gives just works in isolation. Like, it could tie into nothing else, and it's just compelling enough to stand on its own and be in the movie as is. But on the other hand, you just about almost forget about that moment, that anecdote, until it comes back around by Damon enacting the lesson that's being taught by it. And like it, you're like drawn in, and then you start to realize, oh, he's doing the MLK pivot, right? And then now you're even drawn into it more, and it just builds on the emotional aspect of it, and just everybody's reactions to what's going on, like the tension, and then the realizing that it seems to be working, and then just an amazing bit of writing, amazing performance on Damon. It's really like that's kind of the heartbeat of the movie, and I guess I said Marlon Wayne's scene was my favorite, but it's really the conjunction between these two scenes that it just that's the through line of the movie. Like you just that connection there, it just encompasses everything that this movie's trying to do, and it's perfect. A buddy described the movie to me as the Mission Impossible of sports movies, and if you know me, that's pretty high praise in and of itself, but it actually is a good description of the plot of the movie. Signing Jordan was impossible for Nike. They didn't have the budget, they didn't have the branding, and Jordan himself was completely biased against them. So the movie goes into the ins and outs of those accumulating decisions that gamble seemingly everything on this one unlikely outcome. And we see all this preparation for a formal sit down, from Sonny battling out with the sports agent, him prophesying the Adidas and Converse meetings, to them designing the original Air Jordan shoe, to the decision for the CEO to show up late to the meeting to give gravitas to it. And right when you're riding high with the flow of the movie, it slows down and becomes this one on one scene with Damon and Jason Bateman, where the actual stakes are put onto display. You know, it's not just about what happens to the company, but all these individuals' lives are going to be impacted and destroyed if this deal doesn't go through because of the gambit that Sonny has made. And it just injects the emotion into what is essentially just a sit down meeting and a follow up phone call, and makes that the climax of the movie, and is super effective. Like, it's fantastic filmmaking. Undeniably well structured and calculated. But that's almost in opposition to characters like Chris Tucker, who's playing Howard White. See, he at first didn't feature at all in the screenplay, but Michael Jordan wouldn't sign off on the movie unless he was in on it. And then Ben Affleck brings in Chris Tucker and basically allows him to write in his own scenes, with only the stipulations that this information must come across and it must push Damon's character Sonny forward. But because Chris Tucker had the preparation of being with the actual Howard White, and even childhood friends of the guy, and collecting all these stories, he infuses these scenes, which are basically just expositional, and puts this characterization and informs it with personality that you almost don't even realize it. He's becomes one of the better characters, one of the best characters of a movie that's full of good characters. And Affleck, as a director, was able to slot these scenes perfectly into the movie to show what an essential cog Howard White was to this monumental story. I just think it's so awesome when elements of a film that are strictly composed interact with loose, play it by the ear stuff, and the result on screen is just seamless. And that ties into the story and meaning of the movie. Hard work and grind is only ever preparation. You've got to take risks to grow and succeed. And there's this balance gained by lowering the amount of corporate profit so that you can reward individuals. I loved at the end of the movie, you know, where he went on to do this, he wound up here. They link the Jordan deal to the 2013 decision to allow collegiate athletes to finally make money off of endorsements, and that Sonny, the main character of this movie, was a major part of getting this deal passed. If there is one thing I would levy against the movie, it is that it does kind of push gambling more so than, proper risk assessment. But, it may actually be more true to the story, especially Sonny being an actual gambler. So, but I did thoroughly enjoy the movie and I highly recommend it. I mean, this would be my endorsement of it. I'm the real deal. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.